It's not racing, that's just people on their computers playing with their mouses and keyboards.
Lesson from the brain, seeing the beauty through the...
What's up YouTube, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be talking about the NASCAR iRacing event that happened last Sunday. I know it's really late, was it Thursday? But I had to post the career mode video yesterday and got this video out today. So make sure to leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below your guys' thoughts. Let me know what you guys thought of the race. Was it a 10 out of 10? Was it a 1 out of 10? What were your guys' thoughts? And yeah, be sure to join the NHOL Discord. We're having a tryout Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so be sure to be there so you can race with me and Chenry. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into today's iRacing news.
I miss the old Kanye, straight from the gold Kanye, chop up the soul Kanye, set on his goals Kanye, I hate the...
So first, let's talk about the race. The race was in itself, I'd say it's a tale of two races. It really a tale of 1.5 races, I would say. The whole first part of the race, pretty much up until it seems like the last 20 laps, it was, you would go maybe 5 to 10 laps at the most, then a caution would come out, and that was basically... You guys see that fly? So yeah, basically there was a lot of cautions in the first part of the race. We saw a lot of different leaders and stuff like that, and that kind of at the end created what really created this ending that we had. Obviously, I think this is mostly due to the inexperience of some Cup drivers, and maybe not doing stuff that they're used, or having to do stuff that they're not used to, or vice versa. It was a culmination of things. There's a lot of wrecking, and I think as this league, this series goes on, I think we'll see a much cleaner races. Not as much as these drivers that are more inexperienced, like Jimmy Johnson. He missed. He thought they were under caution, so he caused a wreck because he was just going about 90 miles per hour. But even a 7-time champion made a mistake. So it was a different experience for some of those drivers that were not as experienced as people like Timmy Hill and Parker Kligerman, Dale Earnhardt Jr. They were kind of still getting used to it. So I feel like that had something to do with it. Think of if you do a league, usually the first couple of races, usually there's a lot of chaos and stuff like that. Like we just had a lot of new people join in yet the other day in our league, and it was pretty chaotic. So usually when you get some new guys that aren't as experienced with leagues, or in this case iRacing, you're going to have some wrecks. So that is something that I think is just kind of growing pains of having some drivers that aren't used to iRacing coming into iRacing and going against competitive racers. So I think, like I said, as they get more time in the simulator on iRacing, as they get more laps on, I think we'll see a better product. But let's get into these last 20 laps. These last 20 laps really played out as probably, if this was an actual race, I think this would probably be the best race of the season, I would say. So if we look at the situation, we got Timmy Hill, and was it Grant Smithley or Ty Majeski? I can't remember. I'm sorry. It's been a while. It's been a couple days. So I know for sure Timmy Hill was the leader. I feel like it was Grant Smithley was the other guy, but I could be wrong. So they pulled out to lead. Obviously, they are very experienced in this. Timmy Hill was a favorite coming into the race. I think Grant Smithley had the pole. So those were two drivers that were favorites going into the race. Yeah, it's kind of weird to say that because half the time we don't even remember they're on the track when they're actually in the Cup Series. But those were the really two favorites in them: William Byron, Parker Kligerman, some more other guys. But they pulled out to a lead after the final restart and seemed to be in a league of their own. But Dale Earnhardt Jr., he would have fresher tires. I believe he didn't pit on the last restart, but the restart before last. The other two pit on the restart before that, so they had a little more worn tires. So Dale Earnhardt Jr. would catch up to them and slowly but surely pass them. Now this is where it's really key. If he didn't, Timmy Hill and what's his name, Grant Smithley. I'm sorry if it's wrong, but that's who I think it was. Grant Smithley. If those two did not give up such a fight, Dale Jr. probably pulls away and goes so far that Denny can't catch up to him. But Denny, he pitted on the last caution, so he didn't have the track position that Jr. and the other two had. but he had the speed. He was probably 2 to 3 tenths faster. So Denny Hamlin, he's charging up through the field with the fresher tires, and Dale's trying to get around these leaders, and we have like a four-way battle really for the lead. And Denny's faster, but he can't seem to get around these slower cars. And Junior's finally able to get past the slower cars, or they weren't really slow. I'm not saying that they were slow, but they were slower because they had worn tires. Dale finally gets around him, and then we have a one-lap battle between Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Denny Hamlin, and it was good. I mean, it was side by side. They were going at it. We get into turns 3 through turn 4, and coming out of turn 4, they touch. They collide. I mean, there's nobody to blame in that situation. They both collide. Junior goes down into the inside, and Denny Hamlin claims the win. Really great race. I'm telling you, if that was an actual NASCAR race, people would be hailing it. Like, it would have been crazy and stuff like that. People would be loving it. They still love. It was really well received still by the people that watched it. But it would, even if that was a cup race though, I mean, we would be hearing a lot of good stuff about Homestead right now and how Homestead should be, the championship race again, which I think still people believe that. But yeah, it was a really great race all in all, and in my opinion, obviously, other than I'm not going to talk about the first race of the season because I don't want to get in trouble, but I would say it's really been the best race in my opinion so far. Obviously not leading up to it, but best finish, we'll go with that. Best finish, I would say, that I've seen in racing in 2020. So there's that. That's really, don't get mad at me for it, please.
New Kanye, the bad mood Kanye, the always rude Kanye, spaz in the news Kanye, I miss the sweet Kanye.
The ratings weren't bad, and from what I've seen, they were actually better than what Fox was anticipating, so I guess that's a good thing, but they also weren't good either. If you compare it to a NASCAR race, which is unfair to compare, it only got 900,000 views. Yeah, right? Yeah, 900,000 views, which is, I mean, almost a million, which is a pretty good reach, but I feel like it was probably just everybody. Probably weren't getting much channel surfing views. It seems like probably just the people that happened to hear of it, but that's still a pretty good amount of people, and definitely not anything to frown on. Bitch is back. And I mean, it's unfair to compare that race to a NASCAR race. I mean, that's like a second or third nationally televised race versus a sport that's been around since the 1950s. It's really unfair to compare the two sports. So it needs to build a viewer base, get some new viewers in there, and well, it's on Fox, so it's definitely going to get some new viewers. This week at Texas, the race will be on Fox, the actual local channel, and it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. Obviously, it's going to get higher views than it would on FS1. The real question is, if you're just the average fan, if you're just searching through channels, are you going to stay and watch? Is it going to be a event that you're going to want to watch? I feel like if you're just a sports fan looking for sports, you are probably going to stay and watch it. But if you're just a casual person going through, you might not want to watch it as much as a NASCAR race. If there were a NASCAR race on, I would say you'd probably be more inclined to watch it if you just can't find anything to watch as a sports fan. So I'm just kind of interested to see how that goes. I think it's really surprising to me how involved Fox really is with this. Considering just about a week ago, I was convinced they wanted out of the sport. So obviously, I feel like we're kind of going the opposite direction now. I feel like they actually are staying, but we've already had that discussion. But all in all, it was a great broadcast, and I mean, obviously with its usual Fox mistakes, there were actually a lot of technical issues I do remember seeing, but it's the first time Fox has ever broadcasted iRacing, so obviously it's not going to be perfect. I mean, nothing's going to be perfect on the first try, and it probably won't be perfect this weekend, but don't hate on Fox just because they can't bring out a perfect broadcast. I can remember mistakes, not as many, but a couple mistakes in the NBC broadcast. So just let Fox learn. It'll get better. Obviously, it probably won't be as good as NBC's, but they're trying, okay? At least they're trying. At least they're interested in the sport, At least they're broadcasting our sport. So don't hate on them too much about it. But anyways, the ratings, from what I hear, were better than what Fox was expecting, and that might have warranted the move to Fox this weekend instead of Fox Sports 1. And like I said, it'll be interesting to see how it does. But yeah, not bad ratings. I mean, I'm not like blown away by them, but I'm not, I'm not disappointed in them. It's probably about what I expected. I expected about 1 million to, right just around that area. So I pretty much got it almost on the dot there. So I'm kind of proud of myself. That's all for today. Also, they did announce that it's going to be going until however long it needs to go, so that is always a great thing. And Fox will be broadcasting, whether it be on Fox Sports 1 or Fox. They will be the broadcaster of this series, so you don't have to worry about it just going back to Twitch. It will be on Fox for its, at least now, for as long as it exists. So that's kind of cool. I like what Fox is doing here, and hopefully we get back to actual racing though, because I'm missing that. I just said it. I just said it's not racing. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I actually this is fun and all, but it's just I miss the cars on the track. The actual racing, and I know you all do too. So, but this is definitely real racing. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying I'm missing the old NASCAR. And hopefully it comes back soon. But I do like the new avenues that this is, opening for iRacing, and I'm interested to see what they plan to do in the future once everything goes back to normal. Well, if it ever goes back to normal. But be sure to leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below your guys' thoughts. Join the NHOL Discord, join my YouTube Discord. Both links down in the description. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.